Hello, I'm Ralph Edwards, and the surprised subject of this edition of This Is Your Life, the Classics, honestly needs no introduction. He's the ultimate cowboy. No one in films has ever eclipsed his definitive personification of Western values and the triumph of the good guy over the outlaw. Now, if you have your family there, gather them around. Here we go. Let's look at this classic surprise from 1953.
This is Your Life, America's most talked about program. Now here he is, Mr. This Is Your Life himself, Ralph Edwards.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to all of you from This Is Your Life here at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood, California. Ah, yes, right now we're very fortunate to have in our audience a very distinguished visitor. A visitor from Oklahoma City, as a matter of fact, a gentleman who is seeing This Is Your Life for the first time. I'd like to introduce him to you. Reverend Bill Alexander, will you do us the honor of joining us here? Stand up, will you? Yes, you, sir. Yes, you. Come up here and join us on our stage, please. How do you do, sir?
Good to see you, Ralph.
Well, it's good to see you. You a little surprised about all this?
I don't know what it's all about. Tell me the score.
Well, we have many reasons for having you here. Your interest and work in behalf of children has culminated in a $3 million youth foundation, for one thing. The people of Oklahoma City have good reason to be proud of their minister of the First Christian Church, because your work has been an inspiration to a good many people.
Thank you, Ralph.
Well, he certainly played an important part in my life.
I've heard that voice before.
Just a minute. What is this, huh?
I heard him say "I do" one time.
Do you recognize that voice?
I think so.
Dr. Alexander? Now, wait a minute. It belongs to a man who's familiar to millions of youngsters and grown-ups, too, all over the world. A great friend of yours, the king of the cowboys, Roy Rogers. And here he is.
Good to see you. How are you?
He is surprised.
I heard you say "I do" once before. You remember?
You recognize it?
Yes, sir. Good to see you, Roy.
Oh, gee. Dr. Alexander, are you surprised to see Roy?
Well, open confession is good for the soul, and I'm not near as surprised as Roy is going to be in just one moment.
What's this? Go on, Doctor. Go on.
Roy, I have a confession to make.
All right.
I flew all night out here just to be the bait for the trap to get you here so that you wouldn't know that you are the hero, Roy.
Yes, the whole plot is written right here. This is your life, Roy Rogers.
You know.
How about that, Roy? Huh?
Come on, Roy.
Come over, man. He looked at him and said,
right,
gee whiz.
just take it easy.
How you doing, kid? Stay with me here. He can fight like a tiger, this guy, I think. You better help me here for a
You see,
minute.
they told him that it was my life, and that's the reason he's here. He didn't know. Congratulations.
Park your shooting irons and take your chair of honor here, please.
Kind of hard to sit down these days.
Yeah, well, take them off if you want, boy. Look, do you sort of forgive me? I've been giving you a good line in there in the dressing room for a long time, huh?
You certainly have.
All right, kid, it's all right.
Roy, no one deserves it more than you. You're a thoroughbred.
Bill, where's your horse?
Come here, Bill.
He's trigger happy.
Before you get... Oh, come here. Bill, before you get away, when we went on tonight, by the way, before he knew that he was to be the principal subject, Roy Rogers, on This Is Your Life, he says, just so I say one thing, that you're you're the man responsible for his joining the church. Is that right?
That's right.
That's right, boy. Well, God bless you. That's really,
God bless
really
you.
swell. Our viewers have sent in more requests that we do your life than anybody in the United States of America. And that's one great reason why we're doing it. Of course, the great reason is, as they know, that you just well deserve it. Well, thank you, Reverend Alexander, for helping us surprise Roy here. We're going to get on now. Won't you take your place in Roy Rogers' past over there, please? Are you ready to ride back into your past, Roy?
Well, I guess.
All right. Dig in your spurs, dally, and look away.
I know, but you told me it was supposed to be him, and I've been thinking back there for hours.
This boy, we even gave him a whole lot of script to learn. He's gonna...
You know, Bill was 2 hours late for our wedding, and he had to ride from Oklahoma City. He wanted to make it authentic to Davis, Oklahoma on horseback, I think.
He did ride to your wedding like that? Well, all right, here we go. Here we go. Now we're back in Cincinnati, Ohio. Never expected to see you here. Cincinnati. The day is November 5th, 1912. A wonderful day for Andrew Sly. the day his first son is born, but a tense day for Mattie Sly. She's had 2 beautiful daughters, and according to our record, now this is what she says, when she sees how ugly her first boy is, she breaks down and cries. Is that right? His name is Leonard Sly. Do you know him, Roy?
I sure do.
Who is that?
That's me.
That's you, boy. I don't know how she could have ever said that, but a year later, the Slys moved to Portsmouth, Ohio, where your baby sister Kathleen is born. She's a pretty baby, and you've improved by now, too. Do you remember what she looked like about that time?
Well, not much about her.
Yeah, do you remember what you looked like?
All I know is what my mother told me.
Well, here, I hate to do this to you, boy. I was looking for it. I found it. Take a look. Leonard Sly, age 4.
Bobbed hair and all. You notice I got button shoes on there, too.
Yeah, well, you got shoes. That's the main thing, boy. Well, you move 11 miles up the holla to a little farm in Duck Run. Duck Run. Population 14. I'd like to show you a picture of the house that you may well remember.
My dad and I built.
You did, huh, kid? Now, bless your heart. All right. It's not too fancy, mind you. No refrigerator, and no radio, no plumbing, for that matter, either. And the sugar bowl in the kitchen cupboard is pretty short of cash in there, but... Of course, that didn't mean anything to this family. There it is. Dad is in the city working at the shoe factory. Mom and her 4 kids work the farm. Well, we're going on back now, so I want you to listen.
Don't forget the time Leonard spent with that pig of his.
Now, who could that be? A voice from your Ohio childhood, Roy. A man you traveled...
I know who it is.
A man you traveled east to see 2 years ago. But, and you missed your good friend and former teacher, Guy
Baumgartner?
Guy Baumgartner. Come on here, Guy. Look here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, golly. How about it, Guy? How about this fella, huh?
Yes, I taught him
Sit down, Roy.
in 7th and 8th grade,
Yeah,
and he was a good student.
yeah.
He was liked by all the boys and girls, and I tell you, he's A1.
Sure, they're all watching. You've got about 3,500 kiddies watching on television back in what city?
In Lucasville.
Yeah, whole Board of
all
Education,
the
everyone.
children, the Board of Education, and all our good friends in Portsmouth.
Now, what's this about a pig or something, huh?
Yes, Leonard was a member of the 4-H club, and he had a pig that was his project.
Mm-hmm.
And that pig, he could make it do about anything.
Yeah.
Put its head in his lap while he brushed it and manicured its nails, you know.
Manicured its nails.
Yeah, but I won first prize in Sauter
That's
County.
You did, boy. Good for you. This might be the picture of the pig, eh?
That's right.
Is that right? The one standing is you, Roy. You understand there, yes. All right. Well, patience and attention paid off because you won first prize at the Sauter County Fair in Ohio, just as you say, right?
Leonard had a kind of a magic with animals.
Yeah.
You know, he could ride anything with 4 legs, and if he'd poke a stick in a beehive, I think the bees would swarm on everybody else and ignore him.
Wonderful.
And he had a pet groundhog that used to come tumbling out of a hole when Leonard would tap on a tin pan and say, time to eat, let's come and get it.
Well, thank you, Guy Baumgartner, Roy's old school teacher, for coming here, being a part of his life.
We'll see you later.
see you
Oh,
later.
Sure are, boy. Thank you. Thank you, Guy Baumgartner. Well, Roy, how you doing, kid? All right. The farm and school life were not yours for long, Roy. At the age of 17, you quit high school and joined your father at the shoe factory. You might still be at the factory if it hadn't been for a letter from California, a letter that started you on one of the most fantastic successes in show business. I hope by now you've forgiven us for ambushing you here, Roy.
Well,
How you feel?
wonderful.
Wonderful. Boy, he just been sitting here, puffing and everything. He says, I can't believe it. This guy, he was supposed to be here. Well, let's get back in the saddle, Roy Rogers. This is your life. 1929, you're working at the U.S. Shoe Company in Cincinnati, Ohio. And somewhere along the line, you seem to have acquired a guitar. Bob Warren, bring it over here. Is this the guitar, Roy?
That's it.
That's it. You wonder where we got it, didn't you?
That's my first one.
That's your first one. Absolutely your first one there. Where did it come from, Roy?
From a second-hand shop in Cincinnati.
What'd you pay for it, do you remember?
$20.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the instrument that started you on your career. Now, Roy, what's this about a letter you and your family received from California?
Well, I had a sister in California we hadn't seen for several years. And
Yeah.
we got the letter from her,
That would be
my oldest sister.
older
Mary.
sister. And so it was in the spring of 1930 that the Sly family gathered together what few dollars it had, piled into the old Dodge, and headed for California. And Roy, hang on to your boots, because they're all here again. Look at here. Come here. How about this one? The whole family. Come here. Oh, my. Oh, gee, Willikers. Here's a guy, he can't quite talk right now, but it's really something. Yeah, we're going to hit them all one by one. Roy, old fella. Hey, Roy, they look like they broke down over here in the car, you know. I don't know. Looks like the old car broke down, pal. Come here. Roy Rogers, bless your heart. Doggone you. Now, here's Sister Mary, Mrs. Mary Johnson now, of Van Nuys, huh? Mary, you were the one who... Where are you? Over there? Oh. You were the one who sent the letter that got Roy and the family on the way to California.
Yes, I was, Ralph. And I came in this trip because I missed out on the first one.
Came in the old Dodge this trip. And here's where's Cleta? Cleta, there you are. Now Mrs. Al Willoughby. And baby sister Kathleen, now Mrs. Ted Cox. Yes, indeed. Don't they all look alike, huh? And here's, of course, Mom down here that you were just talking with. My goodness, Mrs. Sly. Mrs. Sly got the biggest mother or son's kiss that I've seen on our stage in many and many a night. Well, Mrs. Sly, you must have had your hands full with this mob here, huh?
Well, I did.
I bet you're very proud of your son, Roy.
I sure am, and all the rest of the family.
Proud of all of them. Well, that's a wonderful thing for a mother to say. Now, Mr. Sly, how do you do? How are you there, boy? Look at these guys here. They look, Dad and son here. Mr. Sly, is this the original car that made the trip?
Well, made it halfway, and on the way, we broke down on the way. And
We
got
put
another
bearings
one.
in that thing from Ohio to California and back.
You got halfway in the other one, then you picked this one up.
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
Yeah.
What'd you do with the other one?
Well, we told them both.
Well, you certainly...
During the Depression, and we had to do the best we could.
well, absolutely, as did all the families. And you
We got to
certainly-
California anyway.
Brother, you sure did. And Mr. Sly, you did
When did you
very
bring
well.
this down from the ranch?
He can't ask too many questions. We've been hiding all this stuff and dodging him and going up alleys for 3 weeks. Well, you raised a fine family, Mr. Sly,
thank
believe
you.
me, and Mrs. Sly, and you have a right to be proud. All right, have seats over
Sure
there.
am.
Roy, we'll go on ahead because your life is just skimming by. Dad and Mother and the girls, come on. We'll step on through Roy Rogers' life. Sit down here, Roy. It's 1931 now, Roy. And while the California sun is shining, there's still no money growing on trees. You take any job you can get. You drive a gravel truck in Lawndale it is. There's a piece of highway near Castaic that shows your skill still. You roll greens for a golf course called Fox Hills, but you keep plugging away with the guitar and get a few chances to play for free. Well, music loves company. You team up with 5 other musicians, and you all starve together. Now, most folks won't remember their names, but they'll remember one song you all used to sing. Yes, your old singing group, the Sons of the Pioneers. Here they are. Hugh Farr, Carl Farr, Pat Brady, Lloyd Perriman, and Tim Spencer, and there they are. Now, you fellas are the original group that barnstormed with Roy, aren't you? Hugh?
That's right. We traveled all over the West together.
And it's amazing how far it was between meals.
I'll tell you what, we were either hungry or we were starving, so we just sing to give our mouth something to do.
We never counted any sheep to go to sleep. We always counted roast lamb.
Well, Tim, didn't you get paid when you sang at the radio station?
Well, no, but we got a lot of publicity. And we also got a few pies, you know. I remember one particular place in Roswell, New Mexico. We were doing a broadcast, and I guess the folks heard that Roy liked pies, so there's a young lady by the name of Arlene Wilkins, and her mother brought down a great big lemon chiffon pie. And we liked it so well that we sent Roy back to their home to fill it up again. And he come back and says, we're all invited down for dinner. Well, from there on out, we were picking in High Cotton and Roswell.
Well, Roy, this is your life, and it wouldn't be complete unless we could hear how it sounded when you sang with the Sons of the Pioneers. Now, I know our audience would sure like to hear the rest of Tumblin' Tumbleweed, the first number recorded for the Pioneers. Do you need the words?
No.
Oh, all right. See them tumbling down, pledging their love to the ground. Lonely but free I'll be found, drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweed. Cares of the past are behind, nowhere to go but I'll find just where the trail will wind, drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweed. I'm a roving cowboy, riding all day long. Tumbleweeds around me sing their lonely song. Nights underneath the prairie moon, I ride alone and sing a tune. See them tumbling down, pledging their love to the ground. Lonely but free I'll be found, drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweed. Thank you, Sons of the Pioneers. Oh, thank you. Well, in 1934, you appeared with the Sons of the Pioneers in your first picture, and as soon as you had money, you sent for the girl with a smile, the girl who made the lemon pies. You were married to Arlene Wilkins on June 11th, 1936. You adopted a girl, and your marriage was blessed with 2 children of your own. You found a happiness in family life that only served to heighten your terrific loss when on November 3rd, 1946, your wife Arlene passed away. But we're back now, back in 1936. You're in a cleaning shop in Glendale, and you hear another cowboy mention that Republic Studios is auditioning for a cowboy. What happened then, Roy?
Well, I was in there picking up one of my hats. I say one of my hats, my hat. This fella came in and he said that he had to have a cowboy hat that night because he was going to have a screen test the next morning, and I got to talking to him, and he told me that it was going to be at Republic Studios, so I saddled my guitar and headed there the next morning.
And you got the job, and the rest is history. Well, maybe that's the answer. When fortune doesn't knock on your door, go out and knock on hers. Republic liked you. Your name has changed from Leonard Sly to Roy Rogers, and you get your first solo part in a movie. Yes, the rest everybody knows, Roy. Your first picture was Under Western Stars with Carol Hughes. And so the battle of the box office was on for Roy Rogers. In quick succession, you starred in 86 pictures in all to make the farm boy from Duck Run, Ohio, who combed and polished a pig, the most popular Western star in the movies for 10 successive years. Do you remember anything special about Roy boy? Let me ask you something. Do you remember anything special about a movie called The Cowboy and the Senorita?
If he doesn't, he just better not come home tonight.
Yes, it's Dale Evans, the Queen of the West. The Cowboy and the Senorita was your first picture together.
That's right.
You were married on New Year's Eve, 1947, by our good friend, the Reverend Dr. Bill Alexander in Oklahoma, outside of Oklahoma City. Come on out, Dale.
Well, if you want me to come out, Ralph, You'll just have to come back here and play babysitter.
Well, there's no need for that. Let's bring out the whole tribe. First, here's Tom Fox, Dale's son. Here's Dale's son, Tom, now a music teacher in our Los Angeles schools. And here comes Cheryl. Cheryl, where are you, darling? This way, yes, and Linda Lou. Linda Lou. Here's Linda Lou. Isn't she pretty? Let's see you, honey. Look out here. And where's Dusty? Dusty, hey, we're going to need... Here is Dusty. Come here, boy. And let's see. Here's Sandy with Bullet, I think. No, just Sandy. Here. Go ahead, Sandy. Here's a boy. Pick him up if you want to, pal. And here's Dale. Here's Dale. Wait a minute here, boy. Oh, give him a hug and a kiss. Oh, look here. Dale, who have you got in tow, honey?
Well, this is little... Shh. This is little Doe. We call her Dodie. You see, I was in Dallas last spring, and I saw her in an orphanage there.
Yeah.
And, of course, in August, we lost little Robin.
Sure, that's for sure. It was just 2 days before her second birthday.
That's right.
Well, the story of Little Robin is beautifully told, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, by Dale in a book she's just written. I wanted to say this because it's going to be published this March, and it's called Angel Unaware. It's a beautiful, beautiful book.
And this little boy here, this is Sandy. We got him in Covington, Kentucky when we were on tour.
Oh, what a
Isn't he a
swell
pistol?
guy. He sure is, boy. Hi, big boy. Good to see you. All right. Well, goodness, little Doe, congratulations. Sandy, congratulations on your parents. I guess that completes the roundup of the Rogers family. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Good heavens. We almost forgot. Another famous member of the family, Trigger. Move over. Come on, Trigger. Here he comes. Here's Trigger. Come on. We can't forget Trigger. We couldn't tell the story of your life without Trigger sharing the spotlight, Roy Rogers. Well, Trigger, Doe likes Trigger. Thank you for the part you played in Roy's life. Trigger, my boy, will you take your place over there, please? Have a seat in Roy's past. There he goes. How about that, huh? Well, sit down, Roy. Sit right there. Sandy, you go over and sit by Mommy. Dusty, you sit in here too, pal. Put Dusty right in the middle for a minute here, will you, Roy? Because I want to tell him it's 1933 now, Roy, and success is yours. Your current movie, Paramount's Son of Paleface, in which you co-starred with Bob Hope and Jane Russell's breaking records. Your coast-to-coast TV and radio shows for post-serials over NBC reach into every home where there are children. I mean, you're just a busy, busy, busy boy. But let's talk about what Roy means to one of these children. 6-year-old Russell or Rusty Rogers, the same name but no relation. Now, Rusty was in a room in the Virginia Mason Hospital in Seattle, Washington, and he was never going to walk out again. Russell had only one interest. He wanted to talk to his pal, his hero, Roy Rogers. And you called him, Roy. You phoned him 3 times in Seattle, and you promised him that if he got well, he'd come to Hollywood and ride on Trigger, remember? Well, the doctors can't explain it, but they bear witness to the facts. Rusty Rogers did get well. He did ride on Trigger, so come on out, Rusty Rogers from Seattle. Shake hands with yours and everybody's pal, Roy Rogers. Oh, God. This is your life, Roy Rogers. Indeed it is. Hello there, Rusty. What suit you wearing, huh?
Suit that Roy sent me when I was sick in the hospital.
Well, it's a beautiful suit, Roy. It's your life, your past and your present. It's a long road from Duck Run to the top, but you made it with a guitar as a weapon and simple virtues as your shield. A belief in honesty and faith and tolerance. And now, Roy, let's turn to your future. For you and your pal Rusty Rogers, presenting to the Virginia Mason Hospital in Seattle, where you were, this beautiful 21-inch screen Westinghouse television set that provides unsurpassed clarity and brilliance with 3-way picture perfection, and in the flat where you were born on 2nd Street in Cincinnati, a special plaque as a personal remembrance. Prel is having your picture painted with Trigger by David Miller, the Southwest's foremost artist. We hope it finds a treasured place in your living room there at the Double R Bar Ranch. Yes, Roy Rogers, this is your life. Good night.
Our guests were flown here by TWA Transworld Airlines, who now fly the newest and most luxurious airplane in the skies. Fly the finest. Fly TWA Super G Constellation.
Be sure to watch This Is Your Life next week when we recreate the life of a man who struggled against illness, stark poverty, and fate itself to achieve success in movies and television. The story of a warm-hearted, lovable family man, William Bendix.
Ralph Edwards production, produced and directed by Axel Grunberg.
About his This Is Your Life, Roy told me, I handled the relatives okay, but when you hauled in that old Maxwell we'd driven cross-country, I just flat out bawled.